Good morning from Letchworth State Park in New York. Alana and I got in here yesterday and we're doing our very early start. You probably can't tell in this video just how dark it is, but we are at first light. We are also at Upper Falls. If you can tell or you've been here before, you can see maybe some mist over there. That's the Upper Falls down along the gorge hike. That's what we are getting ready to do right now. Here we go. Well, there you go. We are at our turnaround point. We have been hiking for a good bit of the day along the Gorge Trail and hiking downstream. Other than a few of the little offshoots and spurs that we also did, which is 6A and 5. All in all, we're at about 4 3/4 miles. And it's starting to rain, which it has done off and on again all day. It hasn't been too bad just yet, but it's been enough that we've had to throw the tarps over the bags and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, I've already taken some photos. You've seen some of those. If I still have any left, I'll show you those as well. With the rain picking up, I'm gonna hush up and head back to the truck. All right, well, hey, now that we're back at camp, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about our hike, the park, and our day.
Okay.
Yep. So the hike, as I mentioned, we were doing really the Gorge Trail. And we did start, again, a little bit redundant, but we started really early in the morning, and it was all ours. It was absolutely wonderful. At every waterfall, every place, there was just absolutely, yeah, we had the view anywhere we wanted to go. There was really no one in the parking lot. The last clip you saw was on our way back to the truck, and it was way different.
So busy.
It was so busy.
Parking lots were full.
Yeah. So anyway, the Gorge Trail itself is a 7-mile one-way trail.
Yes.
So whether you start at one or the other, it's a one-way. So if you do the whole trail in one shot, you're really looking at 14 miles.
Yes.
We could probably do that if I didn't stop every 12 feet to play around with a camera or do a photo thing, and that's okay. We like that slower pace. So anyway, we ended up out right about that 4 3/4, 5 miles, and then we turned around. Now also we did add some bonus.
Yeah.
If you wanted to break up the Gorge Trail, though, it's really nice the way they have it set up, because you can go ahead and, like, there's many parking spots where you kind of poke off of the trail and there's a parking lot, and then you could go back down. So really, even though it's a 7-mile trail, you could easily break it into different sections.
Correct.
Over different
Out
visits.
And back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there is a ton of hiking to do here in this park.
66 miles.
Yeah, 66
I believe
miles.
is what it says.
And tomorrow morning, we're actually going to get up and
Yes.
go to one just kind of off the backside of our campsite over here, and maybe get a view over the hill. But
Yes. Again, a one-way.
Yeah, it was almost all the trails are one way.
Yes.
There's not a lot of that are designed as a loop, and I think that's just because the park is so kind of long and follows the gorge. Everything just sort of runs in a linear direction with it. But yeah, as far as the park goes, if you haven't heard of the park, I'm really surprised. It's made the news and Google feeds and everything several times. Since 2015, the park has been named
the #1 state park.
#1 state
in
park.
In USA and then in the
three
state.
times since 2015. Yes. So, and I don't know who decided that. I don't know if it was people or whatever, but anyway, it is known.
It is known.
It
is known.
And honestly, I understand why. It's
very nice.
It's a very nice. It's very nice. The campground itself, I think I heard the guy say at
270 sites.
A little over 200. I think he said 276. 276 sites, somewhere around there, plus or minus some.
And
but
then
it was
there's
still
the inn.
Yeah, it was still really quiet last night. So it's set up very nicely. Fall color, for me, it has been perfect.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is I like to lead the fall color a little bit. I like a little bit of green leaves left on some trees for the contrast with the yellows and oranges. Reds usually fall off very early in the fall season anyway, so I like to lead that. So hopefully there's a few reds left. And I have yellows. That way, you see people that sometimes convert an entire photo to where everything looks yellow, where they're kind of artificially making fall.
Right.
And and sometimes it just is that fall colored.
Correct.
But I like it when there's a little bit of green left so that you know that, those are actually fall colors. I say that, but you probably do see quite a bit of green back behind me, and even some brown and down. We had this entire area had a sort of a heat run late in summer that it's kind of got all of the colors not being quite as brilliant,
right?
A little bit late, and I think what we have now is probably going to be very close to peak, at least while it's on the trees, because there's a lot of leaves falling. So I don't know how much the ones that are really colorful. I'm not sure whether the leaves will be gone before they get to their color.
Right.
So anyway, fantastic park, fantastic day. We're back at it again tomorrow on the new trail, also hopefully with some photography.
Yes.
On our way back out, it was just too busy to do any more vlogging, but I did take a couple more photos, one of which includes, I think, my favorite of the day, at least on the back of the camera. So you tell me which one you think that is.
There you go.
Here they come now. Well, good morning. Alana and I were again up and at 'em early. In fact, in the dark, as you've seen. We have been on Trail 18 and we have made our way out to Kissel Point. That's it back here behind me. I had hoped that this would be a place that I was going to end up doing a morning photo or two from this view. It looks like it's going to be a very nice sunrise. Unfortunately, there just isn't anything here. So at least nothing, you know, it was beautiful to see, but nothing really to take a photo of. So while Alana and I were on our way here, we noticed that there was a really nice yellow leaf canopied forest. I'm gonna go back and see if I can find something there for a photo, but otherwise, it's been a lovely morning hike, but that's it, just a hike, no photos. So let me go find something. Go. Even though I put tremendous effort into it, I only found one image, and I worked and worked and worked on it. I still was never really happy with it. There was a couple of trees that were blocking the angle I wanted. I really would have liked to have backed up and used a longer lens, shallowed the depth of field a little bit, yada yada. You've seen the image I took and what I tried to do there, at least the best of it. I did like the idea of it. I'm not, at least right now, I'm not 100% sure that I liked the execution.
Yep.
As far as the hike, what'd you think?
This morning's hike, it was a nice walk.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Nice walk.
We started so early that some of the tree roots and things were a little tricky, but once there was light, it wasn't really a problem. No. I do wish the overlook was a more prominent overlook. I mean, you just sort of get to the end, and there was a bunch of trees and everything there.
Or cleaned up some.
Hey,
B.
Hi there, B.
Anyway.
So anyway, I do wish. Get out of here. I do wish we would have had a little bit more. In fact, our original intention was to start with that hike on Saturday.
Yes.
I'm glad we didn't, because it probably would have put us in
very disappointed.
It probably would have put us in a bit of a funk.
Yes.
Not because the hike was bad. It's actually a lovely hike. If you just want to hike, it's a lovely hike.
You don't see beyond the trees.
Yeah, that's right. You just don't see. Yeah, right. It's a nice hike through the woods.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a pretty gorge and a nice overlook that's very difficult
on both sides.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, the whole weekend. The visit here to the state park.
Yes, very nice.
What was your favorite part?
I think the waterfalls, and I can't pick one.
Okay.
Because they each had their own.
Mine was, and somewhat frustratingly, the eagle.
Oh,
so we did have a bald eagle. You've already seen the images of the bald eagle, but the whole story with the bald eagle was we've been between Alaska and out west and all the places we've been with bald eagles. I'm always never just quite ready. And here I am setting up and just kind of looking at the bridge and the waterfall starting yesterday off.
Very first thing.
And here comes a giant bald eagle underneath the bridge, over just like right through the waterfalls, right over my head. And I was like, bald eagle.
We're
missed
like, what's that? That's a bald eagle.
Yeah, missed it again. And then later, Eagle Eye Alana, we were actually at the other set of falls, and then you spotted it up in a tree, and then I whipped out the long lens. I'm thankful I carried that heavy dude all day. Whipped out the long lens all the way out to 400 millimeters, and the images you saw are probably still a significant crop, because he was like across the gorge in a ways.
Yes.
So we actually think we saw another younger bald eagle that didn't, that didn't have the white head on yet.
Mottled color.
Yeah, it wasn't there yet. So anyway, several bald eagles in there. That's really the neat live wildlife that we saw in the area, but we know that there's plenty around.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, would you revisit?
Yes, I would. I think there's still plenty of trails that we have not done.
Okay. For me, I don't know. Because for us, we tend to be road warriors, right? So I think about a visit that's going to give me kind of a stopover, and I think you have to be so premeditated to get a campsite here.
Yes, and the rest of the trails are not near the campground.
Correct. So there's a bit of a commitment in the way we're set up with the truck. I mean, you're basically tearing down camp to make it then to a trailhead. We're thinking about maybe changing some things up that could make that a little bit better, but we don't know just yet. So anyway, my wishy-washiness on a revisit only comes out of just being able to quickly and easily get a campsite. Its own popularity is almost its own negative. It's almost the negative from my eyes. But lovely park, lovely people, amazing weekend. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. That's it. It's a wrap. I will share any other B-roll or images I take on the rest of our day and our trip home, but absolutely no promises. You might be seeing end credits in a few moments. I don't know. That's it. Get out there, explore, make some memories of your own, and we'll see you on our next attempt.
Yeah, something.
Bye-bye.